Welcome to On New Paltz. I'm Rosalba Correa.
And I'm Katie Bonpansero. Here are today's top stories.
In international news, Israel's leader is retaliating for the deadly attack on a Jerusalem synagogue on Tuesday that killed 3 Americans and a Briton. The attack, carried out by 2 Palestinians with meat cleavers and a gun, happened in an Orthodox neighborhood that has a large population of English-speaking immigrants. The attackers were killed by police. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has ordered the homes of the attackers to be demolished, along with the homes of Palestinians who carried out several other recent attacks. Thousands of people have attended a joint funeral for 3 of the victims, held outside of the synagogue where the attack took place.
In national news, Senate Majority Leader Reid says President Barack Obama should take executive action as quickly as possible to curb deportations and rebuild the nation's immigration system. It's a shift from last week when Reid said Obama should wait until Congress had completed work on must-pass spending legislation. Obama could act as early as this week to protect as many as 5 million people in the country illegally from deportation and grant them work permits. The planned move has infuriated Republicans fresh off midterm victories. GOP lawmakers in the House and Senate huddled Tuesday to weigh possible responses, with party leaders aiming for a solution that avoids a government shutdown.
U.S. safety regulators are demanding that automakers expand a recall of cars with airbags made by Takata Corporation to cover the entire nation. Previously, cars have been recalled only in areas along the Gulf Coast with high humidity. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says it's basing the decision on a recent incident that happened outside of those high humidity areas. The owner of a 2007 Ford Mustang recently complained to the government about suffering an injury when an airbag malfunctioned in North Carolina. Airbags made by Takata can explode with too much force, sending shrapnel into the passenger compartment. The safety agency says if Takata and automakers don't agree to the recall quickly, it will use its legal powers to assure that the inflators are recalled. Stay tuned for local news.
Yo, check out this chef, right? Right? That's so gay. That's really gay. Dude, look at those hands.
Please don't say that.
What?
Don't say that something is gay when you mean that something is dumb or stupid. It's insulting. It's like if I thought this pepper shaker was stupid and I said, man, this pepper shaker is so 16-year-old boy with a cheesy mustache. Just saying. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
Hello, I'm Josina Campbell in local news. The New Paltz Theater Department's production of Rent premiered last Thursday and has been quite a success as students have been supporting the production in great numbers. Rent tells the story of a group of impoverished young artists and musicians struggling to survive and create in New York City's Lower East Side. The story takes place during the thriving days of the Bohemian Alphabet City under the shadow of HIV and AIDS. We had a chance to speak with both cast and crew about the production. Let's take a look.
I'm here at the opening of Rent in front of McKenna Theater to see what many students have been waiting for. Let's talk to the cast and director before the show.
Well, Rent is kind of an anthem for the modern age. It's one of the first big contemporary musical theater shows, and a lot of people find connection with the characters, with their struggles, even though they may not be suffering the same way. They understand them in a more modern and connected way.
My favorite part of the production here at New Paltz has to be the fact that our production is so different from every other. We didn't try and do what the Broadway show did. We didn't try and emulate anything. We just approached it very truthfully and with our own lens.
I've been very impressed working on this show because it's really told me a lot about your generation, and the fact that your generation really gives us a sense of hope that we're going to move into, hopefully in the future, a time when there's a much greater acceptance, less prejudice and openness to everything around us, and that's been really phenomenal for me to see.
Well, there you have it. Students can buy their tickets at Parker Theaters for $10, and the general public can buy them for $20. I'm Janice Beret, back to you in the studio.
On New Paltz had the chance to speak with writer and contributing editor for Vogue magazine, Jonathan Van Meter. Van Meter often writes profiles on well-known women such as Adele or Jennifer Lawrence for the magazine. On Tuesday, he spoke with students about his experience and success in the world of journalism in the Honor Center in College Hall. Let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Ann Jacobs for On New Paltz. Today, I'm talking to Jonathan Van Meter, a contributing editor to Vogue, who has done profiles on Oprah Winfrey, Hillary Clinton, and many more. Let's take a look. So you've worked at a range of different magazines, Vanity Fair, Esquire, Vogue. Is there a big difference in writing for so many different publications?
Yes, I mean, fundamentally, it's all the same work, and it feels the same when I'm alone at night writing in my office at home, because I don't really actually work in the offices of any of these places. But at the end of the day, it is everyone, all of them have their own thing and their own interests and their own biases. I think that it's really important to figure out, even if it's not the only thing you want to write about, to choose something and to get good at that early on, and to become a kind of a go-to person for that subject, so that you can at least, it's one way to make yourself marketable. That guy knows all about that, and we need somebody that knows all about that, so let's get that guy. It's that kind of a thing. I think that's the one single key piece of advice I would give somebody coming out of school.
Great, well thank you so much. It was
You're
great to
welcome.
have you here.
Yeah, nice.
On Wednesday, Reactive Films screened the Academy Award-winning documentary Inocente. The film tells the story of a very real, day-to-day existence of a young girl who is battling a war that we rarely see. At 15, Inocente refuses to let her dream of becoming an artist be caged by her life as an undocumented immigrant, forced to live homeless for the last 9 years. Her challenges are staggering, but the hope in Inocente's story proves that the hand she has been dealt does not define her dreams do. The screening took place in CSB Auditorium at 7 p.m. Let's take a look.
Hello, I'm Alison Surgery at the Kuykendall Science Building at the Reactive Film screening of the Academy Award-winning documentary Inocente, which features a story of a 15-year-old homeless girl who aspires to become an artist.
My name's Inocente. I'm 15 years old and I live in San Diego, California.
And so what brought you here tonight?
Actually, one of my sorority sisters is in Reactive Film, and she was saying it was one of the last tapings, so we really wanted to come and support.
I actually heard about it in a class, Introduction to Latin America and Caribbean Studies. So through that class, one of our classmates, she's in the club, and she promoted it, and it became like an extra kind of thing.
I wanted to see the film because it seemed pretty interesting. Seemed like something that would interest me. Eye-opening, something I wasn't as aware of. Homelessness is a huge epidemic within the United States, and it kind of touched on, immigration a little bit.
When you think about homeless people, you don't there's never this image of rising above it. When we just watched this movie, it was like the whole image was this girl who overcame all of her troubles and was able to create this fantastic art. So it was very, very different.
I'm Alison Surgery at the Kuykendall Science Building. Back to you.
You can find the packages to these stories at WNPC-TV.org.
Up, college is hard. Down, those books are heavy.
My sport is football, but my passion is education. So every year I take promising high schoolers on a college tour to show them that higher education means a brighter future.
My name is Nnamdi Asamoah. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
You can be a reader, tutor, or mentor too. Take the pledge at liveunited.org/volunteer.
Do you wear this?
Hi, I'm Brett Linehan.
I'm Naya Bonilla.
And here is your sports and entertainment news. Get ready to get that Cup song out of your head, only to be replaced by an even catchier tune. Pitch Perfect 2 is coming to theaters on May 15th, 2015, facing off against some of the biggest summer blockbusters. But it seems that the sequel will be able to hold its own. The film will have all the girls back for another year of intense a cappella drama, as well as a special appearance by the immensely popular a cappella group Pentatonix. Elizabeth Banks will make her feature directing debut with the film. She said, quote, "This is the stupidest idea I've ever had. My first movie is this huge studio movie that a lot of people care about, that also happens to be a musical with massive dance numbers. I don't know what I was thinking."
Despite flooring 17 kills and hitting .273 in the third set, the New Paltz women's volleyball team was unable to prevent a straight set sweep against Haverford College in the first round of the NCAA tournament at the Newport News Regional on Friday. New Paltz, the automatic qualifier out of the SUNYAC, started out hot, scoring the first 3 points in the first set. But Haverford came back, reversing a 7-6 Hawk advantage into a 12-7 lead for Haverford. The Hawks end their season at 31-6 overall after claiming their second ever SUNYAC title and making their 5th ever NCAA tournament appearance. Congrats on a great season, ladies.
Mockingjay is the most polarizing novel in the Hunger Games saga. Some love it, some hate it, but people agree that Mockingjay takes things to extremes, tackling traitors, murder, war, and one of the most haunting, realistic portrayals of violence in young adult literature. That being said, Mockingjay is also a study of post-traumatic stress. After 2 books of children both killing and being killed, Collins uses Mockingjay to finally give her characters time to be damaged. This may be why Mockingjay Part 1, if done correctly, should make for the best film in the Hunger Games franchise thus far. The movie is set to hit theaters today, so be on the lookout for kids holding bow and arrows and fighting oppressive governments while in line for midnight showings.
Despite scoring the first 4 points of the second half to tie the game, the New Paltz men's basketball team was unable to triumph over non-conference Vassar College, losing 70-61 on Tuesday. New Paltz attacked the basket all game, getting to the free throw line 38 times and knocking down 68.4% of its shots from the charity stripe. Vassar, however, finished with a 37.9% mark from the field and hit 8 3-point baskets during the contest, which wound up being the difference. New Paltz drops to 0-2 overall with the loss and takes on Utica College in its first game at the University of Rochester's Chuck Wrestler Tournament on Friday, November 21st at 1 p.m.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
That's all for this week's news. I'm Rosalba Correo.
And I'm Katie Bompancero. Thank you for tuning in.